I've been poor. And I've been rich. Rich is better.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most well-realized TV characters from the organized crime world. We won't include any portrayals of real life or based on real-life gangsters, animated ones, or those from outside the Americas.
Garfield or Lovis?
I prefer the cat. He hates Mondays. We can all relate.
Number 10, John Abruzzi, Prison Break.
What is this all about?
Say you were able to get outside those walls. Would you have the people in place to make sure you disappeared forever?
What do you care?
Just curious.
Every prison has its top dog, and Fox Rivers is John Abruzzi. The Chicago mob boss enjoys more freedom than most while inside, which is why protagonist Michael Schofield recruits him to his planned escape attempt. A devoted family man, despite his criminal nature, Abruzzi captures the attention whenever he's on screen.
He's lucky I didn't take his to his head. You got it.
His intense, unpredictable nature leads to many shocking and violent developments during his time on the show. While his tenure in the series is nowhere near as long as we'd like it, Abruzzi still looms large in a series filled with fascinating characters.
What is it exactly you got up underneath there, huh?
What the hell are you doing?
You think that'll stop me? Then I think twice.
Johnny, quiet.
Number 9, Kai Proctor, Banshee.
It saddens me that you continue to hold me in such low regard.
You'll get over it. Can we get on with this? You stay right there.
The Amish community probably has few gangsters to its name, but Kai Proctor is the exception that proves the rule. The resident crime boss in the titular town of this criminally underrated series, Proctor may be known to the authorities, but he's always charming and cunning enough to evade going down for good.
You may cause me to rethink my own terms. You know what this is?
It's a whistle.
It's a lesson in power.
Proctor makes us uncomfortable, not only with his creepily close relationship with his niece, but also with how often we find ourselves rooting for such a ruthless, vile man. But the devil you know is often easier to love than the ones you don't.
Be careful, Father. I have swallowed your insults for years. But don't mistake my tolerance for weakness. You all live here because I choose to allow it.
Number 8, Omar Navarro, Ozark.
I want to launder only when I say that it's safe.
And when's that gonna be?
When I compromise an FBI agent.
The Bird family suffers plenty of anxiety in laundering money for a drug cartel, and the cartel's leader, Omar Navarro, is the #1 source of that stress. While he does respect competence and honesty, Navarro proves to be the boss from hell. The drug lord is volatile and unpredictable, with his mood shifting rapidly in his every encounter with his subordinates.
If I wasn't handcuffed to this table right now, Wendy, I would kill you.
You're not listening.
No. You are not listening. My nephew is dead.
Worst of all, Navarro is impatient and frequently sets unrealistic deadlines for tasks to be accomplished. His presence and demanding attitude instantly make any scene he's in fraught with tension.
We're supposed to be partners.
Partners? No. You exist for me to use. What did you think, huh? That because you were American, you were not gonna get your hands dirty, Wendy? If I am at war, you are at war!
Number 7, Mags Bennett, Justified.
This is the bad part, but it doesn't last long. Mixture's all natural, from up in the hills.
Women can be gangsters too. They may be less common, but they're just as vicious, if not more so. Mags Bennett, played by the always incredible Margot Martindale, is the matriarch of the Bennett family, a clan of generations of criminals. Mags and her brood have their fingers in a lot of pies, including everything from pot growing to moonshine, which actually tastes like apple pie.
We need to talk about what comes next.
Despite her charming and homely facade, Mags is a cutthroat gangster who will do anything to protect her family's interests. And she'll even use poison, or exact harsh lessons to her sons with a hammer if necessary.
Cougar, I know you're sorry. That's why it's gonna hurt so much to have to do this.
Number 6, Clay Morrow, Sons of Anarchy.
Bury him in the woods, mark the grave. Pick those up and gift wrap them.
It was very tempting to choose series protagonist Jax Teller instead, given that he steps up to lead the eponymous motorcycle club the series focuses on. But Jax's stepfather, Clay Morrow, ultimately embodies the gangster archetype more in our eyes. Clay is responsible for increasing and initially appearing to have the club's best interests at heart.
You better be real careful how you navigate around this one.
Or what? You're gonna put a bullet in the back of my head, too?
Clay gradually betrays everyone close to him, revealing that he's only looking out for himself. Flawed yet fascinating, Clay is one of Sons of Anarchy's most watchable characters.
Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, can save you. He can deliver you from all your transgressions.
Well, I appreciate your zeal, Padre, but my transgressions, all I got left.
Number 5, Russell Stringer Bell, The Wire.
I mean, it's getting hard to hold on to the towers without our name all over that product, is all I'm saying.
In this fictionalized version of Baltimore, there are plenty of memorable gangsters on the streets. But our pick goes to Stringer Bell, the up-and-coming right-hand man of Avon Barksdale. Stringer Bell seeks to turn their organization legitimate. He often does so by studying economics and putting what he learns into practice in his criminal organization.
What are the options when you got an inferior product in an aggressive marketplace?
Well, if you have a large share of the market, you buy up the competition.
And if you don't?
Stringer manipulates and outmaneuvers his opponents, eschewing direct confrontation unless absolutely necessary. While his underestimation of both the criminal and legitimate businesses ultimately proves his undoing, Stringer's ambition and pragmatic mindset make him a formidable gangster indeed.
I'm the one that's got to take that responsibility, and y'all are leaving me very, very little to work with right now.
Number 4, Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Take what's left of him and send it to his brother. It'll start a war. I'm counting on it.
The MCU has many notable crime bosses we could have chosen. While the brief reign of Cornell Cottonmouth Stokes on Luke Cage is entertaining, there's only one Kingpin. Wilson Fisk is the enormously powerful head of a shadowy crime organization with connections across the United States. His reach is such that even FBI agents are on his payroll. But despite his impressive empire, we still often see Fisk as a vulnerable and lonely man.
Who are you, Wilson?
Tonight, I'm just a man, enjoying the company of a captivating woman.
He may sport a massive frame, but Fisk never really grew up, and his moments of immaturity are often accompanied by fits of terrifying violence, which makes for a truly compelling villain.
I wanted to make this city something better than it is. Something beautiful. You took that away from me!
Number 3, Enoch Nucky Thompson, Boardwalk Empire.
As you know, in less than 2 hours, liquor will be declared illegal by decree of the distinguished gentlemen of our nation's Congress. To those beautiful, ignorant
Very loosely based on real New Jersey politician Nucky Johnson, though with enough creative liberties that he still qualifies for our list, Nucky Thompson is a corrupt county treasurer and gangster. While popular among everyday people due to his generosity and charming personality, Nucky effectively controls Atlantic City in its entirety, through both legitimate and criminal means.
You paid the... I'm a happy man.
Well, next time we come to your place, you pay for it.
You
kick in the clam.
Wielding a tongue as sharp as his suits, Nucky orchestrates most of his criminal acts through others, but when he does get his hands dirty, he rarely hesitates. Played to brilliant perfection by Steve Buscemi, Nucky Thompson is an old-school gangster through and through.
I didn't ask for this.
You didn't have to.
Number 2, Gustavo Gus Fring, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Now, the group that I supervise focuses on methamphetamine, which is a growing problem in the country, unfortunately. Terrible.
If Stringer Bell is a drug economics student, Gus Fring is a professor in this subject. Presenting himself in public as the affable owner of a chain of chicken restaurants, Gus is actually the cold, calculating head of a massive methamphetamine empire with ties to a Mexican drug cartel. Gus wields absolute control over his employees, manipulating them and threatening them into submission in equal measure. Perfectionist with an eye for the long game, Gus spends decades executing revenge on his enemies.
Now, the Salamanca name dies with you. Will you look at me now?
Unfortunately for him, his decision to hire Walter White ultimately proves his downfall. However, after watching actor Giancarlo Esposito masterfully portray his rise and fall over multiple shows, there's no denying that Gus is one of television's greatest gangsters.
When you have children, you always have family. They will always be your priority, your responsibility. And a man provides.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Vernon Schillinger, Oz, a terrifying and foul-mouthed white supremacist gang leader.
Officer!
On equal goddamn footing.
Session's over.
All this time, you knew you might be getting out.
All right, Schillinger.
Schillinger! God damn it! Schillinger!
Carl Elias, person of interest, an unassuming mob boss with a brilliant strategic mind.
You really think you're gonna be the one to kill me?
No, my friend is going to kill you. I'm just gonna watch.
Mariah Dillard, Luke Cage, They call her Black Mariah, and her heart is certainly that.
I hope this settles matters between us.
Not by a damn sight.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Tony Soprano, The Sopranos.
Are you in the mafia?
Am I in the what?
Whatever you want to call it. Organized crime.
This famed Mafia series is a positive goldmine of incredible TV gangsters. Silvio Dante and Paulie Walnuts are wildly entertaining, but come on. The name of the show is The Sopranos, and Tony Soprano is the head honcho.
Your own uncle. Now let's do it right. Act normal, plan things out, make no mistakes.
Tony perfectly balances all the intimidating brutality of a gangster with the vulnerability and relatability of a modern family man. His evolution throughout the show is as captivating now as it was when The Sopranos first aired. James Gandolfini's performance has cemented Tony Soprano as the most iconic TV gangster of them all, and indeed one of the most famous fictional gangsters ever.
Well, here's a rule you might remember. I'm the one who calls the shots. And you better pay me the respect that I gave your brother, or we're gonna have a problem.
Is there a TV gangster whose exclusion repulses you? Hold an intervention for us in the comments and tell us your favorites.
You're weak, you're out of control, and you become an embarrassment to yourself and everybody else.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.